I feel really kind of dumb sitting here as a friend, having to go down here and so on, so on, so on, so on, so on, so on. We ought to be able to sit and we're professionals. You've been in the business a long time. Sit and just rap without all of this silliness.
Thousands of actors were on The Tonight Show, but no one was as hilarious as Tim Conway.
And it's kind of advice if any guy... Well, see, you don't exactly cheat. You really, what I call, supplement your marriage.
These are moments where no one could handle Tim Conway on The Tonight Show, joking about his real name.
We're talking with Mr. Timothy Conway. Did your mother call you Timothy as a kid?
Well, my real name is Betty, which we had some problems with when I came out here. But, no, I guess my real given name is Thomas.
Thomas?
It's really Thomas. But my mother's Romanian. And
she never quite got the hang of it.
She couldn't say it.
I see, Thomas.
Yeah, no. So, yeah, it's Thomas Daniel Conway. But was another actor called Tom Conway. So I had to change my name. Yeah.
Young fellow with a mustache, good-looking, thin guy, Tom Conway.
Yeah. And I was getting a lot of his bills, so we changed my name.
I didn't know that. Are there other Conways, brothers and sisters?
No.
See, even though we know each other and been out socially,
isn't it? Well, see how I find out that you do
on this show, I have to ask these questions, you see.
No, there were no others. I guess they just kind of said on that. When I
You're an only?
Only.
Only?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But a real bright kid, and I've done real well, so...
He turns his own birth certificate into a punchline by playing up how clunky the original version sounds against the name everyone actually knows him by. The cough of life joke.
Did you ever have, when you were married, did you have problems? I mean, we've been out before. I mean, you and Harvey and I went out one night and we stayed out.
We were almost still gone a week that time, as I recall. Yeah, that was...
we got really silly one night.
That was a little steep, yeah. No, you kind of... Well, I think what you have to do, I call it the cough for life. If you come in at 3 o'clock in the morning and your wife says, "Where have you been?" You go, "Where have I been?" I'll tell you. Now,
that's the kind of kick in.
During that cough, you better come up with your life.
This joke from Conway made the crowd roar because everyone's done this at some point to somebody, even if they were never married. Why he isn't allowed out socially.
Are we on? We are on.
Yeah.
I can't think of
last time I actually saw you was, I guess, when you were on this show, because I do not see you out very much socially.
I'm not allowed out much socially, and no, I really don't go out too much socially, and no, I stay pretty much within the confines of my cardboard box, and just try to remain in the neighborhood itself. Yeah, doing real well.
You're not a socializer, but...
No. I went to one Hollywood party and my car was stolen, so...
Oh, come on.
No, it's true. Yeah.
You mean you had the valet parking?
No, I went to Beverly Hills, big stuff. The valet parking, a guy came out with a red coat and he said, "Can I take your car?" And I said, "Yeah," and that was it. Really? That's right.
He could have been in Puerto Vallarta by now with your car.
It was a party for Steve and Edie, their anniversary or something. I said, "Yeah." I said, "Do I need a ticket?" He said, "I don't think so."
He presents his case for why his presence at gatherings has become a public liability, with each new reason arriving worse than the one before. The time he went off script during a play.
I got a little... plays, I don't enjoy too much because I will this one because I need the money. But at that particular time, I kind of worked a little loose, as they say.
Yes.
And the director said, "Please, just read the lines and shut up and get off." So I was kind of bored in rehearsal, but then when
you like to interpret the dialogue yourself.
Yes. And there's a part in the play where Ensign Pulver is sitting there, and he gets a letter from Mr. Robertson that says he was killed in action. And the sailor, who was Jack Riley at the time, says to me, "What does it say?" And I said, "Ensign Pulver, or Mr. Roberts has been killed in action." And one night I decided to change that a little bit, and
that's right at the end of the play.
Yeah, I noticed that. And Jack Riley said, "I get this thing," and he said, "What's wrong?" And I said, It's Mr. Roberts." And he said, "What?" And I said, "They've repossessed his car."
Oh, you didn't.
Yeah, and but it's those plays. The audience knows those plays so well that they're doing their lines right along with you while you're doing the thing. So I thought I'd just kind of stop them there for a moment, see if they. And it took them a long time before everybody went, "Did he say repossessed?"
As if going off script didn't break the rules enough, the way Tim twists the script here made Carson and the crowd completely lose it once he reveals the joke. Tim's untold Harvey Korman story.
How long have you known Korman?
Oh, I would say 10 or 11 years, yeah.
So you get to him easier than he gets to you. You can break him up. Harvey's a pretty easy breakup.
Yeah.
At least for you.
Well, that started kind of, we were in the dressing room one day during the Burnett show, and he had on a chicken outfit with red stockings and big chicken feet and feathers.
Was he in a sketch or just
no, he just come in from home.
I just wanted to... You never know.
Yeah, that's true, with Harvey.
People. Yeah.
And he had a big beak on that. In order to talk, he had to pull it open like this. And I was dressed as an Avon lady. And I had on a dress and the wig and the pearls and everything, and these and the pantyhose and everything. And he had a personal problem, which he was trying to talk to me about. And he said, gee, I don't know what to do. And he was pacing up and down with these, this chicken thing on and talking like that. Yeah, and going, you know, if I don't find a solution to this thing, and I was sitting there listening to him, and I said, you know, would it be better if we got out of these outfits first?
He narrates a specific Backstage Korman breakdown with the relaxed certainty of someone who knew exactly what outcome they were planning when they initiated the events that produced it, telling Carson what he does in his free time.
It's an easy show to work, this new one now. You work 4 weeks and you're off 48, which gives me a lot of time to do whatever I want.
What is it you want to do?
Well, relax for 48 weeks, I think is good. Yeah, sure, yeah. You know, you guys are talking about Hollywood. How come I wasn't invited to the Hollywood party last night? I've never actually been to a Hollywood party. I've been to a couple at your house.
Well, they're not Hollywood parties. They're kiddie birthday parties.
I went to one, Steve Lawrence and Edie Gourmet's anniversary. Were you at that?
No, I wasn't invited.
I wasn't invited either.
Gee, that's the only one I've been. And I had my car stolen.
And Steve and Edie, or were there other?
No, there were other people. The whole room full of people. I pulled up, and a guy in a red jacket said, can I take your car? And I said, yeah. And I said, do I need a ticket? And he said, no, I don't think so. And that's the last I saw of him or my car.
It's true.
Stole my car.
You gave it to some guy wearing a red jacket?
Yeah. Well, if a guy comes up and you're parking for a party,
yeah,
and they have a valet and everything, a guy comes up in a red coat and says, can I have your car? Wouldn't you give it to him?
Getting asked what he does off camera is normally the easiest possible interview question, and Conway converts it into a bit with the efficiency of someone who simply cannot allow a straight answer to leave his mouth. Conway's hilarious 1982 Tonight Show opening.
See, Tim knows the trick of these shows. Sometimes the guest does not get to the chair, and the applause has died.
Right down, yeah.
And it's very embarrassing.
I was on Mike Douglas once, and it died before I got to the chair. So I run right out now. I don't take any chances.
You know, you told me this afternoon something kind of strange. You said you were in talking, you said, to one of the coordinators, going to be on the show and so forth. Normally what we do on the show, and all shows do it, whoever we book comes in, talks to one of our talent coordinators. We kind of get some areas to talk about. So we have some kind of direction. We've known each other how long?
10, 15?
10 or 15 years. We've been out together, socialized. We've been to parties together. You've been here many times. I feel really kind of dumb sitting here as a friend, having to go down here and so on, so on, so on, so on, so on. So we ought to be able to sit and we're professionals. You've been in the business a long time. Sit and just rap without all of this silliness.
This opening still gets referenced decades later, meaning something memorable happened in the first few seconds before any actual material got underway. Since most Tonight Show entrances are simply the moment a guest walks through a curtain and shakes Johnny's hand on the way to the couch without treating the walk as a performance. Tim's funny take on stage fright.
Were you in school plays like I was, doing the...
I had a funny thing. I used to get physically ill whenever I appeared in front of people. And as a matter of fact, on the first time I did the Gary Moore show, what was the other guy's name that was with Gary?
Durward Kirby?
Durward Kirby. I actually, before going on, did something on Durward that he's never forgotten. Because I would get very nervous before a show, and then when they would mention my name, it started in football. They would say, number 21, here he is, right guard, whatever, Tim Conway, or Tom Conway, and I would actually get sick. I'd just go over to the fence and get ill. So then they stopped giving my name because they thought that was the problem.
Number 48, yeah. I want the number.
And it got so I would even do it on the number. So.
Most performers treat stage fright as something to conceal rather than discuss. So Conway, building a bit directly around it, flips that instinct into material from an angle most contemporaries would have carefully avoided. Conway showing up with his costume on stage.
No, I didn't, and some pretty authentic ones.
Yes, they certainly were.
Yeah.
Let me help.
Oh, yeah, I'm kind of fortunate I didn't get it in the toilet. It would have been, Oh, I'm sorry to see that. That's, great, okay.
Was that really one of your favorite ties?
Yeah, this is kids gave me this, but don't worry about it.
No, we'll get you
out. It's fine.
We'll get you a new tie.
Sure,
brand new tie.
This was a $3 tie, so fine. Certainly would.
Walking out already in costume changes the energy of an appearance before a single word gets said, since the visual gag does immediate work that a standard entrance never could. And Tim understood that the 30-foot walk from the curtain to Johnny's desk was wasted real estate if nothing happened during it, talking about his Broadway plays.
Going out, I mentioned all those places you're going to appear.
Sounds like a pretty exciting summer, doesn't it, Johnny? Yes, sir.
In a play, Wally's Cafe.
Yes.
That's not Eugene O'Neill, is it? Or...
No. That was written by Ron Clark and Sam Bobrick. Yeah, that was on Broadway for almost 20 minutes. And
a comedy?
Yeah, the reviewers were kind of confused because the audience was laughing and they couldn't hear the lines, so they kind of panned it and went out of Broadway. And it's a real funny play, and I thought I'd do it.
Yeah.
Broadway credits gave Conway a different kind of material than his television work, letting him shift briefly out of pure bit mode, without fully abandoning the same comic instincts that powered every sketch he'd ever done. He can't resist folding in a joke because staying completely earnest for an extended segment was simply never how his brain organized available conversational space. And that mix of sincerity and deflection gives the conversation a different texture than his usual physical routines. Carson noted in interviews that Tim was one of the only comedians he'd hosted who could make his own genuine accomplishments sound funnier than his fictional disasters, which is a specific kind of intelligence most performers either have or don't. What Tim and Johnny's shows share in common.
We got something in common. You starting your show, which is a half hour shorter than it has been, and we started this week with the hour show.
Mine was cut from an hour to a half, yeah. They're talking now, maybe next year if we go on, to going to 15 minutes.
15 minutes?
And third year, we're talking about being a news break, just a minute. Lay it out there for a minute, do one joke and off, yeah.
Comparing a variety and sketch background against 30 years of nightly late night produces a conversation that goes past typical guest chat and into something closer to two professionals discovering shared vocabulary across very different working conditions. They both land on something about live audiences, weekly production demands, or the pressure of delivering reliable comedy on a schedule that doesn't negotiate around bad weeks. And that shared professional insight lets the segment breathe differently than a pure joke exchange. The plain hijacking story.
Somebody told me a couple of months ago, that's a true story now, you were on a plane that was they tried to hijack it.
It was an attempted either hijack or comedy scene. I honestly thought you were on the plane. I really did.
It was a put on or something?
No, it was a real
joke?
one. Yeah. I can't mention the airlines because it's still a little problem there. But I got on, I was coming from New Jersey here. And, oh, you're from here? Good.
Here always gets the biggest applause.
A lot of people from here.
A story built around something as genuinely alarming as a hijacking carries real stakes before any comedy enters, raising the difficulty considerably compared to Tim's usual material, and creating tension the audience wasn't expecting when they assumed this was another physical bit.
And I was going first class because somebody else was paying for it, of course.
Naturally.
Normally, I'm in the back with a folding chair and a ticket. But I was at first class. It was about 8 people. And this lady up in front was making strange noises. Now, later we learned that she was either smoking the drapes or had a little too much to drink before this happened. And she started irritating the people in front of her. So they finally moved. And then she kept making these strange noises. And the stewardess went down and said, "Excuse me, but we're going to have to restrain you if you don't shut up." I mean, it was getting that bad. Yeah. And she said a few words to the stewardess, which the stewardess came back. And then this lady started taking her clothes off. This is the truth. And, you know, a lot of times you kind of have a tendency to flower these things, but this is the truth. So she started taking her clothes off. So now the stewardess went back up and she said, "Put your clothes on. We're really going to have to restrain you." Now, I didn't agree with the stewardess, of course.
He walks through the account with his usual pacing while finding the absurd details within a genuinely alarming situation. And that balance between real stakes and comic instinct is what makes this one of the more memorable extended stories he told on the show.
I mean, we were on a roll. Yes, the whole situation. I thought, you know, let's see how far this goes. So,
ladies and titles. She's
of
first
course,
class.
Yes. Yeah. Now, they've come back, and now they have a little cart that's going up with bagels and cream cheese and everything. And now these people have moved, and it's only in this aisle that this other lady and myself are seated. I'm in the last row in the back, and somehow I know I'm going to be in this eventually, so I'm just reading a magazine, trying to mind my own business. So she goes now past this girl, and this girl is yelling again, and the stewardess says, "Sit down." With this, the girl pops the stewardess, and the bagels go all over, and she runs toward the cabin of the plane. And she's pulling on the door for the captain to come up. So I'm just reading my magazine, of course. Now she comes around the bulkhead and standing there and puts her hand in a pocket and says, okay, I'm taking over this plane. Only she had kind of a pet name for the plane. So now...
Carson's crying, laughing reaction to the unexpected ending of Tim's joke about how he could possibly explain to his wife that the crazy woman on the plane wanted to, in his words, get it on with him.
The stewardesses who normally were just there with the coffee, tea, milk, champagne, anything, you keep going, no, no, no. They're not anywhere around now because they see the impending danger here. So, from and back, I hear the stewardess call the captain, and she says, we have some lady out here who looks as though she's taking over the plane. It looks as though, it's quite evident, I thought. So now, the captain is going to come out, and I hear saying the captain's going to come out, and what you're expecting is John Wayne, right? It's going to be a 6'7" guy come out and stop this whole thing. Well, what it is a guy who's got about a week left before retirement. And
without getting in trouble with her afterward, proved this moment was one of the funniest and most out-of-pocket stories ever shared during the 30-plus years on The Tonight Show.
It looks to be an Irish guy. He has a big red face and everything. He comes out, and he comes around the corner, and he says to this lady, excuse me, and he takes off his hat, and they carry a band in their hat, a white band, that they evidently tie people up with. And he said, I'm going to have to restrain you. Now, she has some suggestions for him and the band. So he says, thank you, and he goes back into the cockpit. So we're all out
Nice
here
talking
again.
with you. He splits.
Now she comes down my aisle, and I think, this is it. And she comes up to me, and she looks at me, and she said, you're the funny man, huh? And I said, well, I've got reviews to disprove that all over the nation, you know.
If you think these Tim Conway Tonight Show moments proved he was one of, if not the funniest guest to ever appear across from Johnny Carson's Tonight Show desk, comment the moment that made you laugh the most and subscribe for more classic late-night comedy videos. See you next time.